In 1995, an episode of The Simpsons featured a book called Curious George and the Ebola Virus. In 2014, the real Ebola outbreak reached its worst point in history. In 1998, an episode showed a reality television star becoming president of the United States. In 2016, that happened. In 2000, the show depicted smartwatches, video calling, and autocorrect errors, all written off as futuristic absurdity. Every few months, someone discovers another uncanny coincidence between a Simpsons episode and a real-world event, and the clip goes viral. The internet asks, how do they keep doing it? They do not. What you're watching is not prediction. It is pattern recognition. Your brain, very good at finding connections in places where they do not actually exist. Start with the numbers. The Simpsons has produced over 750 episodes. Each episode contains dozens of references to specific technologies, companies, celebrities, political events, scientific discoveries, and cultural trends. If you multiply 750 episodes by dozens of specific details each, you are left with tens of thousands of specific claims about the world. Of all those claims, how many have come true? A handful, but those are the ones that get shared. The ones that did not come true, the flying cars, the alien presidents, the teleportation pods, the casual trips to the moon, those episodes air and are forgotten. No one makes a viral compilation of all the things The Simpsons got wrong. This is survivorship bias in its purest form. You are only seeing the survivors. Psychologists call this confirmatory memory retrieval. Once you believe something is true, in this case that The Simpsons predicts the future, you actively look for confirming evidence and dismiss everything that contradicts it. The show has enough material that you will always find it. There is also a subtler mechanism at work. The Simpsons has been writing jokes about technology, politics, and culture since 1989. Many of those jokes are not predictions. They are extrapolations. They take trends that already exist and push them to a comic extreme. In 1998, the idea of a reality television star becoming president was already a cultural possibility, bizarre enough to be funny, plausible enough to be satirical. A good satirist does not predict the future. They describe the present so accurately that the present eventually arrives at the joke. The writers of The Simpsons are not prophets. They are extremely well-informed observers of the world, writing jokes that play with plausible outcomes. Some of those outcomes arrive. When they do, someone finds the episode. The Ebola clip is a particularly good example. The joke was not really about Ebola. It was a pun on a children's book title, written by someone who knew the word Ebola was both funny-sounding and obscure. Ebola had been identified in 1976. The possibility of another outbreak was not a wild guess. It was a known epidemiological risk. The joke was about the word. The prediction is the coincidence. There is one more thing worth noting. The Simpsons has existed for long enough that the cultural memory of early episodes has faded for most viewers. When a clip surfaces showing a 1990s joke about something that happened in the 2020s, the gap feels enormous. It does not feel like a 30-year-old satire of existing trends. It feels like prophecy. It is not. It is a show with enough episodes, over enough decades, to eventually touch almost everything. The real thing worth appreciating is what The Simpsons actually is, the longest-running scripted television series in American history, produced by a team that has at various points included Ivy League mathematicians, published novelists, and a Harvard-educated lawyer. The jokes that resemble predictions are almost always the most intelligent jokes, the ones that require you to understand something real about the world in order to find funny. You are not watching a show that can see the future. You are watching a show that sees the present with unusual clarity, and the present keeps happening. Now you know.